Ann. Thank you for the introduction. Thank you for the opportunity to speak here today, as together we honor all, and in particular those men and women of Pittsford who gave all defending our freedoms. Many of these Pittsfordites are buried in the cemetery in front of me and in back of me, as well as the cemeteries at the north end of town. Each grave is decorated with the American flag to help us remember and to honor their service to this great nation. It is most important that the traffic on Route 7 is silenced for this brief time as we honor those died serving our country and making Pittsford a better community. I'd like to acknowledge our local dignitaries present. Rutland County Senator Peg Flory under the tent, Representative Butch Shaw also hiding under the tent, who informed me I had 10 minutes up here. Members of the Select Board, our Fire Chief Tom Hooker, and if I forgot somebody, I beg forgiveness. I listened very closely to the essays, veteran stories, and the poem that we heard a few minutes ago. And it gives me encouragement that the American spirit of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness is alive and well among the Pittsford youth. This town owes the late principal of Lothrop School, John Duvall, a salute for establishing this writing event to teach children the core principles and values of patriotism. What makes it even better is the fact that the same patriotic gesture has been carried forward by teacher Jill Corliss. I salute Jill for soldiering on with this worthy project. I hope it continues. To all the students that participated, not only the ones that were selected to read their essays and give us the story and read the poem, please, everyone that participated, don't lose that enthusiasm and carry the message forward through middle school, high school, and on into your adult years. Yeah. Memorial Day was born of our human need to understand, to remember, and honor those that have died so that we may live as free men and women. President Lincoln said at Gettysburg, "It is for us to be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from those honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave their last full measure of devotion, that this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom." These are powerful words. Please remember them. Soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, Coast Guard who have served this country do not do it for gratitude or praise. They do what they do because there's a job to be done. A lot of things that get done, we do not like doing it, but we do it. Then we want to come back home and start the life that we left behind. That is exactly what many of our townspeople did. Do not forget today that we honor those who didn't get a second chance to start their life that they left behind. We are left with a very difficult duty to properly honor those who died for our freedom. They died. We live. They are lost forever. We enjoy each day the gift of freedom they gave us with the greatest price of all, their life. The lives of those we honor today, members of your family, my family, are all valuable lives lost, but not lost in vain. Each life contributed significantly to this nation, the state, and the town of Pittsford to ensure those of us left behind are strong and free. These that we honor today were ordinary men and women which walked the streets of Pittsford or any hometown. They were compelled to serve by their love of liberty, freedom, and country in extraordinary ways with total commitment. We remember the depth of their sacrifice. We remember their legacy of duty and courage. We remember because if we fail to remember, we will forget that the freedom we enjoy is not free. Eternal vigilance is the price demanded for our freedom. Each of us must prove that we are worthy of our freedom by rededicating ourselves to the peace purchased by the lives lost defending the American way of life we all cherish. Since that unforgettable day of 9/11, Americans have lived with a specter of fear over our heads as Osama bin Laden remained on the lam. Thankfully, earlier this month, the Navy SEALs struck at the heart of our enemy. It is military people like that Navy SEAL team who knowingly place themselves in harm's way, preserve the way of life that we are ever so thankful. Whether it was a citizen fighter at the North Bridge in Concord, the Civil War battle at Cedar Creek, Virginia, in which many Pittsford residents fought, including my great-grandfather, Thomas Jefferson Hennessy, the doughboys of World War I, like Mess Sergeant Clarence Tat Wineley, who used to cook our lunch over here in the basement of the gym. Our greatest generation in World War II, our warriors who served in Korea and Vietnam, the liberators of Kuwait, Iraq, and Afghanistan, and countless others who served and sacrificed in smaller American actions around the world. We owe a tremendous debt of gratitude to those who took up arms against our enemies, in many instances laying down their lives to ensure a brighter future for the loved ones left behind. Last week, I walked through St. Alphonsus Cemetery in back of me here, as I recalled seeing a photograph taken from the second floor of the Lothrop School, as the photographer overlooked a military burial. Recalling the proximate location of where that ceremony was taking place, I located the partially sod-covered gravestone of Lieutenant Walter Raleigh. A few paces away was the stone of Lieutenant James Tinian. Both were aviators. Both died. Pittsford was slammed 11 times during World War II, as that same scene would repeat itself. Every scene included this military honor guard at the gravesite of Maurice Buzzell, Edward Conway, Winton Heyer, Julius Kish, John McLaughlin Jr., John Parrow, Morris Pike, Walter Raleigh, Joseph Sulia, James Tinian, and Theodore White. We honor you today. What is very clear to me is that as a nation we must remain vigilant against those who wish us great harm, while at the same time as a nation we have to move forward and build a better future for our children and grandchildren. Today, as we mourn commemorate and celebrate the lives of those lost in war, let us pause and reflect on what they sacrificed for us and what they gave us. We owe all our veterans, past and present, a debt of gratitude for their sacrifice to ensure we have the freedom to achieve life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Later on today, many of us will gather with family and friends to launch the summer season. But it is important that we not forget why we gather and remember Memorial Day. It is our solemn duty to keep the memory alive of those who made the ultimate sacrifice. Thank you for your time. May God bless those that keep us safe, and may God bless America.
Thank you very much, Bill. That was a very moving and emotional speech dedicating to all of the veterans that have lost their lives from Pittsford. Thank you very much. We will now have the Brandon American Legion Rifle Squad perform the rifle salute.
Color guard, cut! Fire squad, order! Prepare to fire!